Hi everybody, I'm Joe.
And I'm Mary.
And we're Book Buds. And today I am going to pick my next book by listening to some opening paragraphs.
I'm excited about this. We love to do this. It originated from the tag, as we mentioned in one of our other videos recently, that Allie Risdale had done, which was quick to judge.
Yep.
But we're just doing this for fun because we want to read the opening paragraphs.
Yeah. It's great. I want to hear.
All right. So what are we going to start with here for you? I think I will start with Out of My Heart by Sharon Draper.
Okay.
Okay. You want to hold the other ones for me?
Sure.
Okay. So let's see what you think of this one. Okay. The firefly hovered over the back of my hand, then landed, slowly, effortlessly. I could hardly feel its delicate touch. 2 wire-thin antennae, flickering, protruding from its tiny round head, painted with a small red dot. I tried not to tremble. My hands often move on their own, whether I want them to or not, so I focused intensely, willing myself to remain still.
Okay.
The next paragraph goes on to talk more about its wings and the dark lines.
Firefly. Okay. Sounds like a sweet little book.
Okay.
I like the cover with the fireflies.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a maybe.
Yeah. I read the first one, so I kind of have like a little bit of an idea.
Oh, you did? This
Yeah.
is a second?
Yeah.
Okay. Next we have Verity by Colleen Hoover.
Everybody loves this book. I'm trying to read it for a while.
Okay. I'm going to read the first 2 paragraphs because it's just a sentence of the first one. I hear the crack of his skull before the splattering of blood reaches me. I gasp and take a quick step back onto the sidewalk. One of my heels doesn't clear the curb, so I grip the pole of a no parking sign to steady myself. Can I go on?
Yes, please do.
The man was in front of me a matter of seconds ago. We were standing in a crowd of people waiting for the crosswalk light to illuminate when he stepped into the street prematurely, resulting in a run-in with a truck. I lunged forward in an attempt to stop him, grasping at nothing as he went down. I closed my eyes before his head went under the tire, but I heard it pop like the cork of a champagne bottle.
Oh my God. Okay,
I don't know if we should have read that next paragraph.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Tragic. The details.
Yeah. I mean, the
Okay.
blood splatter initially, this is for you to pick, but I was like engaged right away with that.
Yeah.
But then the head, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
You shall decide.
Yep.
Okay. Next we have The Iron Thorn by Caitlin Kittredge. This looks like a Mary book. I think I might steal it. Let's see what it sounds like. There's a map, and it's a different kind of map. It's like for floors. That's very interesting.
Cool.
Okay, The Ashes of the World. Again, the first paragraph is like 2 sentences, so I'll read the second also. There are 17 madhouses in the city of Lovecraft. I've visited them all. My mother likes to tell me about her dreams when I visit. She sits in the window of the Christabel Charitable Asylum and strokes the iron bars covering the glass like they are the strings of a harp. I went to the lily field last night, she murmurs.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It does sound good.
Okay, so she's visiting her mother in an asylum.
And she's visited all 17 to see this mother.
Wow. So maybe she's searching for her? She found her? Or maybe she was in all
Or
of
she's
them?
been all in all of
Yeah.
them. Ooh, there's another map. I don't know exactly what that is.
Wow, I wonder if this is like a series, this book. I gotta look this up.
You know nothing about it?
No, nothing.
Hmm.
Huh. That sounded really good.
It does.
All right.
All right.
There you go.
You got him okay?
Yep.
Next we have Kristen Hanna, The Great Alone. We've got good variety here because Joe is definitely an eclectic reader.
Yes.
1974.
Okay, that was a good year.
Chapter 1. That spring, rain fell in great sweeping gusts that rattled the rooftops. Water found its way into the smallest cracks and undermined the sturdiest foundations. Chunks of land that had been steady for generations fell like slag heaps on the road.
We read this one already!
Did
This
we?
was in my first one! Because you're like slag heaps.
I read that.
Yes! As we can see, I haven't read it yet.
This is going to go on the bottom of the list then.
shoot. Do we have another one in my car?
Are you sure it's slag heaps?
Absolutely.
I say we just keep going.
Absolutely.
Let's see why we didn't choose it last time. Chunks of land that had been steady for generations felt like slag heaps on the road below, taking houses and cars and swimming pools down with them. That does sound familiar, yeah. Trees fell over, crashed into power lines, electricity was lost, rivers flooded their banks, washed across yards, ruined homes. People who loved each other snapped and fights erupted as the water rose and the rain continued.
Keep reading, since we did this.
Okay. Lenny felt edgy too. She was the new girl at school, just a face in the crowd. A girl with long hair, parted in the middle, who had no friends and walked to school alone. Now she sat on her bed with her skinny legs drawn up to her flat chest, a dog-eared paperback copy of Watership Down beside her.
Okay.
Through the thin walls of the Rambler, she heard her mother say, baby, please don't, listen," and her father's angry, "Leave me the hell alone." They were at it again, arguing, shouting. Soon there would be crying.
Okay, see, I need a little bit more this time, you know?
Yeah.
This is the second time. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
That's so funny that you picked it.
Yeah.
For the same thing. Like, you
See?
want to read it.
I do.
But
I want to read it.
I wonder if you've chosen this one before, too.
Don't make me laugh.
Harlan Coben, Don't Let Go.
I have so many books. It's hard to...
I know. Too funny.
Slag Heaps gave it away. Soon, I thought so, and then when you got to that, I'm like, oh yeah, she definitely read that before.
All right. Daisy wore a clingy black dress with a neckline so deep it could tutor philosophy. She spotted the Mark sitting at the end of the bar, wearing a pinstripe gray suit. The guy was old enough to be her dad. That might make it more difficult for her to make her play, but then again, it might not. You never knew with the old guys. Some of them, especially the recent divorcees, were all too ready to preen and prove that they still had it, even if they'd never had it in the first place. Especially if they never had it in the first place.
What's she up to?
She's gonna kill him.
She's up to something.
He's the Mark.
Huh. All right.
So what do you think? We didn't sort these as we went.
I kind of been sorting them a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Like, I don't know. I feel like...
What do you guys think?
Like, it's all about, like, what I'm in the mood for. So, so out of my heart, this is a second book. The first one was about this girl who had some, I can't remember exactly what, but she like was in a wheelchair and she joined the school's like math league or something like that, and she like was their secret weapon. So it's all about her. She's cool. The Grade Alone, I'm not really sure. It sounded better when you read the next couple of pages. This would be a thriller. Do I want to read a thriller? I haven't read a thriller. Verity, people keep telling me to read it. Some people absolutely loved it. A couple people didn't. So, I mean, it sounded...
How did you feel about that head popping open?
I know, that's so violent.
Yeah.
And I love my fantasy. Like, that sounded really good. I'm really drawn to asylums.
Mm-hmm.
That sounded really intriguing. And the cover, I love this cover.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this a series? Is it, you know, I'm interested to hear about that one.
Yeah,
and
I'm wondering, like, what's her mom doing in that asylum? And is it truly that she's, you know, ill? Or is it some other fantasy thing that has her trapped there, you know?
I know, and the maps. That's really dragging me in.
No other mother told such fanciful bedtime stories. No other mother saw the lands beyond the living, the rational, and the iron. My mother had been lost in dreams in one fashion or another my entire life. Now each time I visited, I'd hoped she'd wake up from her fog, and each time I left disappointed.
Ooh, yeah.
That sounds very interesting.
I've had this for a long time, and I've kind of ignored it.
Yeah. That would be my pick if it was me, but this is totally your pick, so...
Am I in the mood for this? I feel like I'm intrigued. It's YA. It looks YA. Do I want to read about head popping and violence, or a fantastical land with some intrigue here?
You know
I think
what?
I'm going to go with this one.
Yeah. I mean, we could leave it to the mood that you're in. You could say it's going to be one of these two.
Yeah. I feel like it's up to these two.
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning a little bit more toward the Iron Thorn.
What do you guys think? Has anybody out there read both of these and can do a comparison? It's totally going to be like a mood thing though, because they're so different.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. All right.
But I'm happy with these choices.
Definitely.
Yeah. And you're definitely going to want to read this one.
Yeah, that'll be on my soon-to-be TBR.
All right, cool.
Hope you enjoyed those readings.
Because I sure did. And if you're enjoying Book Buds, give us a thumbs up.
And share us with your friends.
And subscribe to our channel, Book Buds!
Golly gee, that sounded like a great book.
She spotted the Mark sitting at the end of the bar, wearing a pinstripe gray suit. I said soup, didn't I? Did it sound okay? She spotted the Mark sitting at the end of the bar, wearing a pinstripe gray suit.
All right, so there you have it, folks. We picked our next book. So if you're enjoying Book Buds, give us a thumbs up. I know, I'm like, she's looking at me. I'm like this. I'm like, if you're enjoying Book Buds,
it was good.
And I'm like,
fine,
like this.
But then I'm like, oh, we're being awkward.